Hello all, welcome to autonews.com. In this session, we'll discuss about application composer in Oracle Cloud ERP or Fusion apps. Okay, let us get into agenda. We'll be discussing about these set of things. First thing is, what is application composer? What are the required roles to enable application composer? What is sandbox? And the sample demo on the application composer, and also the table details of the application composer. Let us understand what is application composer. It is a browser-based a functionality which is provided in Oracle Fusion apps to create custom objects. Okay, and not only to create, you can also modify the existing objects. Okay, you can add up, when you say modify, it's nothing but adding up the extra fields or modifying the data types. And also you can create the dependent custom objects like a parent-child relationship also you can do it. And also you can add up set of validation rules or a workflow concept. You can add up the triggers, and also you can expose these set of objects as a subtabs on the pages. Okay, and also these set of custom objects which we create can also be used for reporting purpose. So what is this application composer, and what do you mean by object when we say? So first thing is, it is a kind of a functionality which is used for the purpose of playing around with the custom objects. But what is custom object? Custom object, it's kind of an object which has a set of tools in that, nothing but you can consider it as a table, but it is not actually a table, because a custom object will have the field column details and like validation rule details and a web service details, a workflow details, a trigger details, and also it will have pages. Nothing but an easy way to understand, nothing but application composer allows us to create custom pages and also allows us to store that particular data in the some of the in a set of the tables. Nothing but I can say it's a custom table, but it is not the actual custom table because it's a predefined Oracle table in which our custom data will get stored. Nothing but it allows us to create a page with a custom fields and stores the data in the Oracle provided table. So that's what application composer is all about. And in that, while designing the pages or while designing the columns, we can add up many set of different rules, like validation rules. You can add up calling a Groovy script, calling a web services. You can also add up the different types of fields. When you say type of field, like it can have a number type, text type, or a hyperlink, number, I mean, it is like a date time and a drop down list. There are many different types of object types it supports. Okay, let us get into the next thing. And as initially it was supported for only like a CX module, but later on it is been getting supported in the Oracle ERP as well as like a supply chain module also. As of now, it supports only in English language. Okay, next thing. When we discuss about extension concept or extending the Fusion apps, we always need to understand a sandbox. But what is a sandbox? We can consider sandbox as a playground where we define our custom functionality. And once it is validation is fine, once it is validated, fine. Then what we can do is we can make sure that that particular functionality is available to all the business users. Because when you're trying to develop something, you can't make them accessed by the business users, right? So that's the reason what Oracle does is like it provides a sandbox environment where we can play around, and it also stores the whatever the information which we create in a metadata as a separate layer. And once a developer feels or the unit testing is done properly, then you can say you can publish your particular sandbox data into the the mainline environment where a business user can access the data. So that's what a sandbox is all about. Okay, in the sandbox we have lot number of tools. Application composer is one of the tool in the sandbox. Okay, now let us understand how do we create a custom object using application composer. Okay, so now, so here if you observe, this is a navigation of the application composer. Let me show you. Yeah, this is one of the important things. So if at all, if you don't have the application composer access, you have to make sure that you require these set of 3 roles. The first role is for the purpose of creating object using application composer, and the next one is viewing the existing custom object. And also once you add up the roles, make sure you run the job which is mentioned here, so that the roles will get synchronized for your user access. Okay, let's start about how do we create a custom object. Okay, so this is a navigation. You have to navigate to the configuration, click on application composer, and here in the application you need to select ERP and supply chain if you want to create your custom object in the ERP area, or else you can select the CRM. And once you click on custom object, this plus symbol, it allows us to create a custom object. And here you have to mention these set of parameter details, the mandatory parameters, like what is the display name, display label, plural label, and the record name you have to mention, and what is the object name. So this becomes your primary key to consider object name. So this, under this object name, you'll have the further components. Let us see what will be there. So under this custom object, so here if you observe under the custom object, as of now, it shows only these things like a fields, pages, links, and security. So under the custom object, you have a fields, nothing but the columns. Okay. We can also have a parent-child relationship, but as of now, we are discussing a simple table. So assume that I have created two fields, one is customer name as customer number, and the type here I mentioned as text as well as number respectively. And once the fields are ready, the next thing is you can create pages. So when you create a pages, it will auto generate a default layouts. So when you click on create pages, sorry, if you click on pages, yeah. So once you click on pages, you have a button called create default pages. Click on that. It will take a couple of seconds or a minutes to generate the default pages. And by default, it generates 4 default pages with the default layout. What we have to do is we just need to click on the respective one and modify them. Nothing but add up the columns which you want to see in the landing page or in the creation page or details page or search page. Okay. So let me show you the screenshots also here. This is how it will show the set of generated pages. Okay. Once the pages are generated, you just need to click on the appropriate hyperlink. Now, let us say if you start with the landing page, you click on this particular default custom layout, click on that, and it navigates you to next page where you have to edit nothing but you have to edit in the summary table and mention what columns you want to see in the output. So now here, let us say as of now, earlier it was showing only 3 columns, right? Customer record, last update date created by default, it generates those set of columns, but we want to have the extra columns which we want to see in the output. So you can select the available fields and move to the next side and save and close so that the other fields will be available in your landing page. Respectively, you can also do the same changes for the creation page. Okay. Similarly, you have to move to the right. Okay. And also for the details page. Okay. Once you have modified all the set of things like a landing page, create page, and details page, these are enough. And here, if you observe under the others tab, you just click on others tab, you could see your custom object which was created. And now in our case, it is customers. Click on that, it will show this particular page. Okay, they show this particular page. And also, let us say if at all, if you want to create a custom record, just click on create button. It pops up and you enter the data, save and close. That's it. The data will get saved. Okay. And also, let us say if at all, if you want to see where exactly it is stored, right? So we'll show you the table information. So as I said you, whenever you create any custom object, Oracle has information about the column details as well as object information, but the data which will get stored in this particular table. This is the entity information, right? So here, if you observe the set of record values, right, which are available here. MOD like a ref entities where attribute category is called customers underscore C. So where did I get this customer underscore C is nothing but when you create a custom object, generally you'll have the entity name, nothing but the object name, whatever you mentioned, underscore C. So that's what, like a custom. That's the object name. Using this particular attribute category object name, we can get all the records. Now I have all these 3 records and I can use in my BI report, if at all, if you want to make any report based on this custom report. And also you can create, you can also, like modify the data using the REST SOAP services also. Okay. So let me show you. Yeah. Let me show you this one. Yeah. Let me just refresh. And this is a time consuming process. Actually, it will take some time. So, like in some scenarios, you will also get some set of issues. So we have to be very careful in this one. Okay. Let me see whether this page was generated or not. I'm in a different application composer. Yeah. Can you see? Now I'm creating another set of, like what do you call custom object called supplier. Okay. And I have this particular supplier object and I have only, I think, let me see the fields. It will take good amount of time. So we have to have very much patience in this one. Let me click on this as of now. Let's see. Yeah, so it is having only one field as of now. I just mentioned only one field, right? So here, if you observe, this is my default landing page, right? This there is no field it is getting showed. So this supplier name is nothing but your particular record name entry, okay? And this is the default hook column. Let us say I click on create, nothing but it will pop up the create page, okay? And now here, if you observe the create page also, it is not showing the column name which I mentioned, okay? As of now, let us say I'll mention one, save and close. But why it is not showing? Because by default, so as of now, I have not customized my landing page. Okay. So now if I just click on this pages, it will show the list of default pages which were generated. Okay. Now let us say I'll click on this default custom layout. Okay. Now this is a record, right? Yeah. So let us add up the field one. Okay. Now I'll update the summary table. Okay. So now I'll just move to the right side. Now when we just update this, right, so this should be available in our landing page. Respectively, it should be available when once we update in our create page also, right? So it will be available there also. Let me do that also. This is a landing page layout, and now we'll do for the create page layout also. As of now, we'll just do only these two things. Should be fine. And let us say if at all, if you want to see the data, okay, let me finish this. Field one, save and close. Okay. I'll just reload this one. Yeah. Okay. Can you see? Now it is showing the field one also. Earlier it was not showing that. Now let us say I'll click on create. Click on create. Now it shows, let us say I'll say record number 2 and the field one. I'll say test. That's it. Save and close. Now it is allowing us to show the field which we created also. And also you can see this particular data from database table. Let us see that also. When we create a custom object, it has the name called API name. Just copy this name. And now let us go to the BI report. So let me go to the table which when the data model which I created. Yeah, this one. Embed ref entities. So I'll just mention this one. Okay. Let's say we'll try to retrieve all the columns. Okay. Where is that? Let me save it if it is not saved. Okay, let me try again. Okay, there is some issue seems. I could not see the data here, but it should be available. Okay. So this is how, like we can create an application composer object, and also you can definitely see the data. It is not working here, but it should be available. And also let us say if at all, if you want to see the entity name, right? So I have another set of tables, right? Let me just modify them. And what was the name? Supplier underscore C. Let's see this information and also the other table information. Click on data, right? So it is available. I mean, the object is created and it is available, but here it is not showing the data. Not sure. Click on save. Let me export. Let's say whether it allows to export or not. Right, data is definitely saved. but it is taking some time to sync with the BI. Sometimes it happens. So okay, anyways, so this is the table. MOT ref entities is the table which has the information about our particular set of data. Okay, and we also have set of web services for, like we'll be discussing them in the next upcoming sessions on application composer. So you can also refer to this set of things like this set of documentation to get some more idea on the application composer. Okay, so thank you.